The CEO of one of the biggest AI companies in the world is meeting with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth today as the Pentagon threatens to essentially blacklist that company, Anthropic, if the AI company doesn't lift its restrictions on how the military can use its technology.
They want to know what you're thinking. They want to know how you're voting. They want to know what you respond to. They want to be able to pump social media into your brain. They want to shut down activism before it happens, right? Like, this is a no-brainer. They obviously want to use it to do surveillance onto American citizens. Or maybe Trump just wants to surveil kids. I don't know. Get this party started. This looks actually very interesting. I saw something like about this, about how like our our country, the Trump administration, is pressuring an AI company to do two things. From what I remember, I think one of them is remove the two restrictions being removed. I believe the first restriction is on the ability to surveillance people, and the second restriction is saying, hey, we will stop engaging with AI technology if it becomes too dangerous for us to control. So we got to love this administration. But let's watch this video, man. It's from Moist Critical AI mass surveillance and weaponry situation.
Here's something I've been glued to that I think more people need to be made aware of because it's very serious. Right now, there is a slapboxing match that's been going back and forth between Pete Hegseth and Anthropic. And really, it's the entire Pentagon versus Anthropic. They're behind Claude, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with. The military wants unrestricted access to Anthropic's AI. And they have a contract in place. And right now, Anthropic is planting its feet and lat spreading, refusing to be bullied into giving them unrestricted access.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they have until Friday, which is, what is it, Thursday today? So I'll say I release this video tomorrow. They have till like Friday to get their shit together to let the Trump administration bully them. That's pretty fucked.
The CEO of one of the biggest AI companies in the world is meeting with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth today as the Pentagon threatens to essentially blacklist that company, Anthropic, from lucrative government contracts if the AI company doesn't lift its restrictions on how the military can use its technology. The Pentagon has a $200 million contract with Anthropic. And a source tells CNN that the company has concerns over two issues: AI-controlled weapons and mass domestic surveillance of American citizens.
Sounds pretty reasonable to me.
Yeah, it does sound pretty reasonable. I mean, especially conservatives. I feel like conservatives would be the first people that would be against some kind of AI mass surveillance. You know, I feel like 10, 20 years from now, they're going to be putting chips in people's brains, and I'm going to be more conservative and saying, I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? Yelling at my kids who are basically doing fucking tooth tunes like they used to do on the toothbrush, just directly into their brains.
Yeah, that one passes the smell test. Those are very legitimate concerns, and Anthropic wants these restrictions in place to ensure that its AI can't be used for mass surveillance of American citizens or autonomous AI weapons.
Isn't it funny, though? They say mass surveillance of American citizens specifically. You know, I mean, they shouldn't be mass surveilling anybody, but hey, at least leave us alone, all right?
And because of their reluctance to concede on that, Pete Hegseth has been stomping his feet, bench pressing 315, and has given them a deadline till Friday to...
Isn't that funny, though? Because his 315 is like totally fake. I see the videos. I mean, I'm sure he has a nice bench, but his 315 is like totally fake. It's funny, but people are falling for it. It's funny.
Play ball with them or risk being blacklisted. And the reality of the situation is, even if Anthropic doesn't budge and they wipe their ass with the contracts, numerous other AI companies will step up and just gladly take the bukkake from the Pentagon with completely unlimited access, no restrictions to their AI. But right now, Anthropic is the most powerful and the one that they really want, which is why they're trying so hard to get them to release these restrictions and let them use it for whatever they want. Which, again, the main things...
I mean, they obviously want to use it to... They obviously want to use it to surveil people, to do surveillance onto American citizens, right? Like, this is a no-brainer. I mean, the Trump administration has been terrified of democracy since they lost the 2020 election, right? Going out of their way to pretend that there was some kind of like stealing of the election, which there wasn't, pushing a conspiracy theory that there was a stealing of the election. using it to justify the current voter restrictions that they want to put into place, the SAVE Act, which does nothing more than to just make it harder for legal citizens to vote, right? Because you need to show proof of citizenship now to register to vote. You don't have to show any voter ID when you would vote. So they're not doing that. But proof of citizenship, because apparently your driver's license and social security number that you can really only get if you're a legal citizen, apparently that's not enough. So now you have to get like a passport, right? Or your birth certificate. What's the problem with that? Well, if you had your name changed because you're a woman or a trans person, or even I had my biological, my sperm donor's last name taken off of my name. I had like a hyphenated last name. It's up to the state's discretion whether or not they want to accept a marriage license as proof that it's still you. So some states won't have to accept it. The guidelines are not explicitly clear. So the fact that the guidelines aren't clear, that forces states to accept these material, to accept, like, hey, here's your marriage license. This is me. The fact that they don't have to take that, to me, suggests that they are trying to suppress voters. And now they want to surveillance you. Because why? Because they want to know, what are you doing? They want to do the same thing McDonald's does. When you speak into your phone, you're like, man, I'm kind of hungry. And all of a sudden you get a McDonald's ad on your phone. They want to do that. They want to know what you're thinking. They want to know how you're voting. They want to know what you respond to. They want to be able to pump social media into your brain that'll make you vote in a particular way. They want to shut down activism before it happens. That's what they want to do. That's what they want to do with this AI technology. Or maybe Trump just wants to surveil kids. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
From Anthropic that they are very concerned about is the mass surveillance of American citizens and AI autonomous weaponry. Again, I think those are very reasonable restrictions to keep in place to ensure that the AI can't be used for those two things, because it fucking shouldn't be. If anyone here has ever watched Terminator or any sci-fi movie where AI assumes direct control of the military and everything goes tits up, you've seen this exact storyline play out in those montages that give you the lore breakdown for how we got there. Like, it's crazy to see it unfolding now in real time in the real world. Obviously exaggerating a bit, not quite to that level yet, but it is extremely serious. And I think any reasonable person would agree with these kind of restrictions, because AI shouldn't be used for mass surveillance on American citizens.
I mean, I think that we're at a point now where maybe I'm ignorant, but we need to just shut down AI. It's not we've seen no like positive, like meaningful impact from AI. All it's doing is killing job growth of actual American citizens. Like, what is it really doing? Deep fake porn? I mean, like, oh, look, another, you know? I mean, maybe we need to make deep fake porn of men more. We shouldn't, but it seems like it's almost an exclusive woman issue. And it's like abortion. If men could have abortions, then it would be legal. So if men were under threat of being deep faked, maybe that would be illegal. Maybe we need to do something like that.
And under no circumstances should physical attacks be determined by AI with no human input whatsoever. It shouldn't be making targeting decisions without human input. Like, fully autonomous AI weaponry is a terrible fucking idea. And actually, the CEO of Anthropic did an interview going over these two things because he's not backing down on them.
That's one reason why I'm worried about the autonomous drone swarm, right? So, the constitutional protections in our military structures depend on the idea that there are humans who would, we hope, disobey illegal orders with full autonomy.
Well, now if you tell people that they can disobey illegal orders, the Trump administration will threaten your veteran status. They will take away your freedom of speech. That's what they're doing to Mark Kelly. They want to take away his veteran status because he tells people, like, hey, you don't have to follow illegal orders. Isn't that amazing?
Miss weapons, we don't necessarily have those protections.
Now, for what it's worth, I'm no fan of Anthropic. There is no AI mega corporation you'll catch me waving the #1 foam finger around for and advocating for and glazing or anything like that. I think all of these companies are greedy as fuck, controlled by shady vampire ghoul creatures. And I know Anthropic has built up somewhat of a reputation for being the good guys in AI. But I am not one of the people that actually believe that at all. But he's 100% right. Fully autonomous weaponry cannot disobey an order, even an illegal one. It will always follow.
Oh man, have you guys seen like the have you guys seen the insane, like there's these insane fucking videos on YouTube, on like TikTok, where I saw one where the guy's like, "Hey robot, will you kill me if I tell you to?" He's like, "No, no way," and then he gets him to kill him. It's fucking crazy.
through no matter what, unquestionably. And that's not a good thing. That's not a positive thing. I'm sure a lot of you have probably seen
Well, it's because AI doesn't have any morals. It's a machine. It doesn't have a moral code. It's not going to hesitate. AI is not going to hesitate for because there's an illegal order. It simply does not function in that way. It's not going to do that. So
a lot of those like YouTube videos, or like a long time ago, the Reddit story that would circulate like once a year for the big updates talking about the man who potentially saved the world, Stanislav Petrov, who was an officer during the Cold War era, and while on duty, he received a ping from the early warning system alerting him to incoming United States missiles. He believed that it could have been a false alarm, so he decided to go against protocol, and instead of reporting the incoming missiles, he waited. And it turns out his hunch was correct. It was a malfunction in the early warning system, but the
imagine he went through with it. We'd all be fucked.
Standard protocol dictates that he was to report these incoming missiles, which could have led to a retaliation from the Soviets, which would have led to a retaliation from the US and could have been a nuclear disaster. There's been a lot of debate about whether or not that would have even happened had he reported the missiles, because there would have been other checks that would have went into place potentially, but with such high tension and such little time with incoming missiles, there's a lot of speculation that, yes, had he reported it, they could have immediately just decided to retaliatory strike the US. Regardless,
AI won't do that. AI will shoot first and then not ask any questions because it doesn't care. It's not a person. It's not real. It's just a fact, and I don't know what else to tell you. AI is not a real person. They will just do whatever. There's no intelligent judgment that's going to be made. Right? Like AI is going to be able to kill our jobs, but it's not going to be able to really be a person with individuality or autonomy. So we're kind of SOL.
Irrefutable is that he made the right decision by disobeying protocol, disobeying like the order of operations here. By not reporting those missiles, he made sure that there wasn't a nuclear disaster. It was the right call. The point I'm making is the ability to disobey an order or not follow through on protocol is something that's important. And there's tons of examples of it. I just chose this because I think it's the one some of you have probably heard of. So there's no benefit to having fully autonomous AI weaponry that can't disobey anything and has to follow through on everything.
Well, there is a benefit for for authoritarian governments. The benefit is that they get a thing to do whatever they want. That's it. Same thing for companies. Right? Like the benefits, like if you're a human being, the benefits of AI are maybe some stuff is cheaper, but for the most part, it's massively killing jobs and a reduction of humanity across the world. The benefit for any type of authoritarian figure, whether it's a potential leader of a country or a leader of a business that doesn't care about their people in both instances, is they get to engage in some kind of labor that always listens to everything they have to say without a human element. They can just do whatever they want. Do this, do that. There's no unionizing. There's nothing like that. There's nothing. There's just a centralization of power. That's what it gets them. That's what the benefit is for them.
Without question.
Update these protections appropriately. So, think about the Fourth Amendment. It is not illegal to, put cameras around everywhere in public space and, record every conversation. It's a public space. You don't have a right to privacy in a public space. But today, the government couldn't record that all and make sense of it. Right. With AI, the ability to transcribe speech, to look through it, correlate it all, you could say, oh, there's this.
My favorite part of AI is that it makes mistakes constantly. I saw a thing about how car rental companies are starting to use AI, and the problem is that they're using AI to check in on whether your car is damaged or not. That's what they're doing. And guys, did you want to know something interesting? It's not very good at it. It just flags things that he thinks are incongruencies. And so guess what? There's no human reviewer. So they're just sending people bills for like $500 because AI said so. And then you have to dispute it. And, there's no way. There's no way. It's not easy to dispute because when you go on the phone, who's answering it? AI. we're at a point now, and I hate to say this, we're at a point now where I miss picking up and hearing somebody with an accent. I used to be like, damn, they cannot understand what I'm saying. There's a cultural gap, and I'm frustrated. Now it's like, damn, I hope I get a fucking Indian guy. Now I'm at the point where I hope I get a fucking Indian guy. You know what I mean? Because I can't fucking understand. The AI is fucking terrible. So, I hate to be a little insensitive, but fuck, man. God damn.
This person is a member of the opposition. This person is expressing this view, and make a map of all 100 million. And so, are you going to make a mockery of the Fourth Amendment by the technology finding kind of technical ways around it?
He then goes on to say that maybe we need to update a lot of these protections to encompass things like AI finding workarounds for it. And the point he is making is that this kind of implementation of AI could very much make a mockery of the Fourth Amendment, flushing it down the shitter. His point is, even though it's not illegal to have cameras in public all over the place, out the wazoo till the cows come home, without AI, they can't piece together everything, comb through everything, make a map of people that's, opposition, stuff like that. But with AI, they can. Mass surveillance is made much more possible. It would circumvent protections of things like the Fourth Amendment. He's right. So he is not backing down on these things, which is what's causing so much friction with Pete Hegseth and the Pentagon, which I really feel like any sensible person should see and be extremely concerned, because I think these are reasonable restrictions. Now, unfortunately, like I said, even if Anthropic does stick to their guns here and it does cost them this contract,
I don't think that they're going to. They're going to do whatever they need to do to stay getting government contracts. They're not going to risk it. They're not going to risk it for their morals. And we live in a time where the Trump administration has fueled us with so much controversy that people aren't paying attention. That's the reality. That's kind of the problem. People aren't really paying attention anymore to stuff like this. I think that they don't understand the threat of it. They don't really meaningfully understand the threat of AI technologies killing jobs at all. Most of the people who actually go out to vote are old, and guess what they're doing? They're buying phone cases with AI pictures on them. That's what they're doing. So, good luck. Good luck.
It doesn't just die there. It doesn't fizzle out. OpenAI and XAI have made it pretty clear they're willing to just, with a wide open mouth, just take the golden shower, let them use it for things like mass surveillance or autonomous AI weaponry. They're totally fine with completely unrestricted access, which had my jaw on the floor because XAI is Elon Musk's company. You're telling me Elon Musk would be okay with mass surveillance? No, not that guy.
No, not that guy. Wow. If he is, it's almost like the government's just run by a bunch of fucking billionaires, and we just voted in another one. Isn't that incredible?
No, I'd eat my left shoe. I don't believe that for even a second. Maybe he just doesn't know. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Anyway.
Well, he is pretty stupid, so it's possible.
Though, I do think this is something everyone should care about. I feel like the restrictions are reasonable, and the military should have no qualms about not being able to be used for mass surveillance on American citizens or completely autonomous AI weaponry. Maybe that's a hot take, maybe I'm on the crack pipe, but I think those restrictions are totally fair, and it's kind of alarming that they're making such a huge stink about it, and going to, outright saying they're going to blacklist Anthropic should they not lift those limitations. Don't think that's a good thing. It makes it seem like they want to use it to spy on every American citizen, and they want to use it for autonomous AI weaponry. Those aren't good things. That's how it's looking here. So yeah, just wanted to yap about this a bit. That's it. See ya.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man, we are being ushered in really to a new age where we have technologies that can be really fantastic for all of us, and they can be really good. I mean, AI can, or any technology can do a lot. It can make things cheaper. It can make things more effective. The problem is that we live in a structure that prioritizes money instead of prioritizes people. I'm not saying I'm anti-capitalist. What I'm saying is technology should be for the benefit of all people, not just people with a lot of money. That's it. Hottest take of the century. I know, right?